Welcome to the Patterson Library Connection. In this episode of our podcast, we'll share good news and library happenings, talk to fun and interesting guests, and connect with our Patterson community. I'm Lillie Misenti, the PR and event coordinator here at the library. In today's episode, I'll be talking with our library director, Stephanie Harrison, and our board president, Don Ferraro. They will share some exciting news about changes coming to the library and talk about what's ahead. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get started. Hey, Adam.
Hi, Lillie.
How's it going?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting ready for fall.
Lots of fun stuff coming up for the fall. It's my favorite season.
I think me too, and especially this summer was just so brutal that, it's just nice to be outside.
Yeah, it is. It's a great day today. It is perfect out there, and hopefully there's more of this kind of weather to come. So I know apple picking, pumpkins, all of that stuff. Are you a pumpkin latte kind of guy?
I am absolutely not a pumpkin latte guy. I cannot take any pumpkin flavoring except for actual pumpkin pie. So I'll do that. I'm more of an apple. I'll take the apple, cinnamon kind of spice kind of thing going on.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I know there's a lot of great activities coming up, and I never know what to go to first because there's so many great things, and it seems like it's always on the same weekend.
I actually am very fortunate that I had a show get canceled that I was supposed to work at. I do music and production, and unfortunately someone got sick and it got canceled for next Sunday, but now I can come to the Blues and Barbecue, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, that's such a great event. I will be at my niece's wedding, so I won't be able to attend this year, but I love going to that every year. We actually will have a table there for the library on Saturday, September 14th. And our friends group will be there, and our trustees and some staff members and Stephanie. And so it's always a great time. The music's amazing, and blues is my favorite. So I am really going to have to, wait a whole nother year now to go. So
you can live vicariously through me. I'll be eating plenty of that barbecue.
Okay. Yeah, it is such a great event for the Patterson Rotary, and they do so many great things. So I wish them well with this one as well. It
Absolutely.
Always is. We're going to have a great show today, and we have something different. We have Stephanie Harrison, our library director, and Don Ferraro, our board president. And so it's kind of like working for my bosses, right?
No pressure.
No pressure. Doing this. So no, they're great people. And I've worked with Don since I started, and Stephanie's awesome. So it's going to be a great show. But it's kind of nice to be able to talk a little bit about the library. We've done so many shows so far. This is our 6th one, and the other 5 have been about programming and things coming up and a lot of fun stuff. And this one is really about the library. So it's kind of interesting. It's a different take.
I'm excited to learn a lot more than I already know. And Don and Stephanie are awesome people, and really it's a pleasure having them here today.
Yeah. And it is a nice opportunity and a nice way for us to get the word out about library news. And I like this because it gets out to everybody. And I think it's important to utilize whatever, means we have to get the word out about us. And obviously, people that come in and know us know what we do and stuff. But it's nice to really be able to reach people that don't come to the library, to tell them about the great services we have and what's going on. And so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we always do in our podcast is that we ask everyone who loves our podcast just to tell one friend. And I think we can expand that to the library. I myself have done that. I've told at least one friend, probably more, or neighbor about the library or certain services here. So if everyone can like and subscribe to the podcast and tell one friend, but probably more importantly, just bring one person who's never been to the library into the library, you're going to blow their mind of what we have going on here. It's really special.
Yeah, and we hear it all the time. From when people come in and they're new to the library and it's the first time they've seen it, they're not only impressed with the actual physical space, which is really a comfortable library. When we did this library in 2012, it was the expansion, and we very much wanted it to feel like a den, like your living room, and where you feel like you're comfortable when you walk in. The colors, the decor, all of that was specifically designed to make it feel comfortable. And it's one of the things that people really comment about all the time, is that how comfortable it is, how cozy it is, and it really doesn't feel institutional in any way. It's got a great vibe.
How air conditioned it is.
That's
beautiful. Yeah, beautiful air conditioning here.
I had a movie showing last week, and I said to everybody it happened to be a really hot day, and I said, I know you either raised your hands. Did you love the choice of the movie, or you're here for the air conditioning? It was kind of a split. So whatever it takes, it is a great place, and we do offer so much. So it is nice when we see a full house at our programs. I love seeing people walking through the halls, and the little guys, especially the little kids, when they come walking through here and they fill this place with such great energy. My favorite's a rainy day when they come in their galoshes and their little rubber boots and raincoats, and they all look like little chickens and frogs, and they come in with all these, it's like costume day. It's so fun.
Very cute.
Yeah, it is. So the library is a great place. A lot of people coming through, and I hope this podcast encourages people, like you said, bring a friend, come check us out. We really do have a lot to offer, and we have beautiful grounds outside. You want to just have lunch outside in the park, you can sit in the gazebo. We really have some great space inside and out, and a great staff to go with it. Hopefully we'll see you soon, and all these people that we hope listen to us.
Absolutely. Come on in. So Lillie, what's next?
Let's have some good news. This is not just good news, it's great news. The library received a state grant for $138,000 from the State Act for Library Construction Program. It will fund some exciting improvements to our adult library. Stay tuned to hear Don and Stephanie tell us about those changes and what we can all look forward to. As you know, we are so excited about this one. In our last podcast, we spoke to superstar Ellen Foley, the voice in the iconic duet with Meatloaf on Paradise by the Dashboard Light, a film, Broadway, and TV star who has starred with Tom Cruise in Cocktail, Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie, Michael Douglas and Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, and with Stephen Sondheim's favorite witch on Broadway in Into the Woods, plus so much more. She will be our special guest at our Patterson Library Friends fundraiser on November 1st. It will be an intimate evening where you will meet and mingle with Ellen while you enjoy wonderful hors d'oeuvres and wine and take a chance to win fabulous raffles, all before we gather for a Q&A with Ellen, where you can ask her questions about her fascinating career in show business. Tickets are $75 each and are available on our website, and they're selling fast. Space is limited, so be sure to get yours early. So if you love what we do here at the library and want to help us raise funds for some of the special programs, events, and resources that are outside of our operating budget, then please join us for this amazing evening. We hope to see you there. And that's our good news. And in case you missed it, New York State Senator Peter Harckham was here last month for a coffee and conversation meeting with community members. He holds many of these meetings throughout his district, and we were happy he was here at the library to give people from our community a chance to ask him questions and talk about their concerns. It was a great turnout, and many people got the opportunity to engage in conversation with the senator on various issues. Before the meeting, I had a chance to chat with him for a little bit. Here's a clip of what he had to say. We're here today with New York State Senator Peter Harckham. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I'm happy to be talking to you today, and I know you are here to have a coffee and conversation session, which you've been doing in various communities around the county. Why did you select Patterson Library to have it here today?
Well, as you mentioned, we do a lot of these. When I was elected 5.5 years ago, we made a commitment to do these monthly all around the district. And one of our first ones was in Patterson. So this will be our third one. We did our first two over at the diner. And then this time we thought, because you have such a great public space, we would come to the Patterson Library. So thank you so much for having us.
I know you are here to discuss the recent legislative session and some of the issues affecting our district, as well as to hear from community members about their concerns and questions. Have you gotten a good response from the community in the past?
Oh, these are always great meetings. We say at the beginning, the only rule is no yelling. Willing to talk about anything. People don't have to agree with me. In fact, it's democracy if we disagree. But I learn from folks. They learn from me. People weigh in on a host of issues, from the condition of roads in their community to certain bills before the legislature. So it's always very informative for me to hear directly from constituents.
I think that's a great idea. And I think people are less intimidated to speak in front of you and in a Q&A kind of session like this.
Yeah, it's very informal. And I hope I'm not intimidating. And as you said, it puts people at ease. We're face to face. We have a cup of coffee and we're just two people chatting.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and I'm anxious to hear what our community has to say and the conversation that we're going to hear tonight.
Well, thanks for having me right now, and look forward to the conversation later this evening. Thanks so much.
And that was Senator Harcum. And now I'd like to introduce our special guests, Stephanie Harrison, our Library Director, and Don Ferraro, our Board of Trustees President. Thank you both for being our guests today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Lillie.
So both of you are familiar faces around town. Tell us a bit about yourselves. Let's start with you, Don.
Well, Lillie, how far back you want to go? The Second World War?
Pretty far.
Well, let's see. My career was in law enforcement before I became a trustee in the library. I was there for 38 years in Scarsdale, and I rose to the rank of chief of police and director of public safety. And when I retired, I was kind of 2 or 3 years where I didn't really have much I wanted to do. But I listened to Judy, who is my wife and also been on the board for 27 years, complaining about a particular meeting that she was attending, and it kind of interested me. And I said, you know what, I think I'm going to get involved with the library. So in 2007, I joined the Library Board of Trustees. In 2012, I became the president of the Library Board of Trustees, and I've had a blast since then. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Don, we have done many projects over the years together, and we started at the same time. I joined in 2007, too, as a member of the library staff. And it's been a great run. And now we have Stephanie. And Stephanie, you became our library director in 2018, following longtime director Patty Haar, who retired after 28 years of service. You two have been in libraries for a long time. Tell us about why you wanted to be a librarian and your path to the Patterson Library.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Harrison. I am the library director here. I grew up an avid library user. I'm from Illinois, and as a child, my parents took me to the library, and I really just loved libraries, like many library users. I went to college and I studied history and anthropology, and although I loved it, I'm like, what do I do with that after I graduate? So always loving libraries, I decided, well, maybe I'd want to work in a library. So I went to library school in Boston. I met my husband there, who is from the Hudson Valley. We came back here, but I had always planned on working in archives, and I initially got a job in a public library because that's what I could find, and I realized I loved helping people, and so that was the path I ultimately decided to take with my career. I took some time off to have my children, and then I went back and became the director of the Millbrook Library in 2014. And I was there for 4 years. I really loved it there. But a job opportunity came up here in Patterson, and Patterson Library has a great reputation among libraries in the Mid-Hudson Library System. It's really seen as one of the preeminent libraries. And I felt like even though I loved being at the Millbrook Library, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to work at the Patterson Library. And I've never looked back. It's been great. I love the staff. I love what we do here. The people in the community are really great, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's been a great 6 years or so since you started here. So, Don, like I said, I have worked with you since I started in 2007 and have seen and been part of many of the wonderful projects and changes you have led this library through, both while you served as a trustee and as board president. What are some of your favorite things that we've done here?
There's been a lot of things that I've really been excited about and proud to have been a part of. I think the first project was the renovations of the library in 2012. That was led by Patty Atkinson, who was the president of the library at the time, and I was the chairman of the construction committee. That development went very well. We were very proud of what we had accomplished. And after that, the reopening of the library, we started moving forward with other plans, including expanding our use of the park outside. That was another wonderful project that Eric Peterson, yourself and we collaborated on. And it went from just a weedy field out there to a beautiful lawn. The first big thing that we got was the the gazebo. We got that through a grant. And the gazebo came, put it in place, and the park started to really begin to be something special. Shortly after that, we got the lending tool shed, and that was another big project. And we started lending tools out to the community, which was pretty unique at the time. We also developed the patio out in the park and the vegetable garden. And then we have the flower garden that has been established for the last 7 or 8 years. It's just been a really great experience.
We did expand the library area by incorporating all of the outside facilities that we have out there, and it's been terrific. And we have utilized that so much for outdoor concerts and programming for both adults and kids. And one of the things that I know we were really set on offering was ADA compliant patios and walkways so that it is accessible for a lot of people. So it has been widely used by both library patrons and community members who we often see outside just enjoying being in this really beautiful setting. So it has been wonderful all around. So you have done quite a few things that are really utilized every day, and we do enjoy that garden. We are really lucky to have those beautiful flowers out there that you donate every year. So you and Judy both sponsor that Ferraro garden. So thank you from all of us in the staff and community.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Stephanie, as you know, Patterson is a wonderful community, and we strive to provide a high level of service with exceptional programming and resources for our patrons. We do try really hard to set the bar high and really try to think outside the box. And while all libraries are important to their community, what are some of the things you feel make us a valuable resource for this community and differentiates us from other libraries?
So I think our staff and our programming really sets us apart from other libraries. And as you said, every library in the Mid-Hudson Library System, they're great resources for their communities. But one thing that struck me when I started working here, and it continues to this day, is how many people will come up to me and say how great they think this library is, how amazing it is. It's a beautiful space. The staff is great. And really, I do think above everything else, it's our staff who makes this a special place. From the moment you walk in, the circulation staff is welcoming and they're here to help. Sheila, our information specialist, she can help with those tougher questions. The programming staff work really hard to provide programming that is educational, informative, and entertaining. And I think they do a great job of balancing that. And so I think people come here from all areas of Putnam County specifically for our programming. And even from outside Putnam County, we get people from Connecticut who come here just for our programming. And they love what we have to offer. And I think that, and again, our staff really makes us unique.
So in our good news segment, I mentioned we received a grant that will help fund some exciting improvements to the library. Tell us all about that.
Well, we're very happy that we've gotten to this phase where we actually received the grant. What it's going to be utilized for is to do a little bit of expansion of the adult library, but more importantly, do some interior alterations that will make the library more accessible and easy to use for our patrons. We're going to be adding 2 reading nooks, which are simply small bump outs from the building, about 3 feet out and about 10 feet wide. We'll be able to put in easy chairs and a little table and a lamp, and there'll be 2 of them, and there'll be places for people they can sit down and read and be out of the flow of traffic that is getting to be more and more of a problem for us. In addition, we're going to do some work on altering our shelving. Right now we have some very high shelves, and at times people have trouble accessing the top shelves. It also cuts down on our sight lines in the library. So there will be lower shelving, which will improve the sight lines, also make the library seem more open and airy and easier for people to utilize the adult library.
One of the things I know that you both place great emphasis on is our budget and being fiscally responsible. I know when I'm planning programming, I pay great attention to our budget and the dollars spent, as does Jen Gay, our Youth Services Coordinator. Can you explain to everybody, how is our library funded?
Yes, our library is an association library. There are different types of libraries in the state. But our particular library association allows us to raise funds through putting propositions on the ballot, and that's called the 414 legislation. It's actually been several years since we've done it. It's been 3 years since the last time we asked, and I think it's been 2 times in the last 8 years that we go to the public and we ask for an increase in our budget. It's put on the ballot on Election Day, and the public has the ability to approve or disapprove of our budget. And if it passes, then in the following January, we receive an increase. And that increase is through collection of taxes by the town. We don't have anything to do with the town other than the fact that they collect the tax money for us, and then they forward it to us for use in our operating budgets. This election day, we will be asking for an increase in our budget. It's a very modest increase of $60,970. And the reason for the increase is just the rising costs, the inflation, interest rates going up. Many different things impact our budget. And we've tried to be fiscally responsible and keep our increase ask as low as possible. So we're hoping that the residents of Patterson will support us as they always have in the past and approve this small increase in our budget.
So, Don, how will that impact the average household here in Patterson?
It's going to be a small increase we've asked for. The average household in Patterson, it'll be an additional $17 per year.
That's an additional $17 from what they're paying now?
Correct.
I know Jen Gay, our Youth Services Coordinator, and I have talked a lot about how programming costs have increased substantially as presenters pass along their rising costs for materials, travel, and other expenses onto us. But for the patrons that take advantage of all we offer, the library is an invaluable resource. It's easy for us to see from the inside how many people benefit from all we offer and how much they save. Stephanie, how do you see people saving money using the library?
That's one of the most amazing things about libraries is 99.9% of what we do is free to anyone who comes in our doors, whether it's, checking out books or accessing electronic books or audiobooks or DVDs or streaming media or databases or programming or our museum passes or our Wi-Fi or our scanning and faxing or our notary services. All of those things are available to anyone who walks in the door free of charge. They, can come in here, have a quiet space to study, meet with people. Again, you don't have to spend a dime when you come in here. It's all available to anyone for free.
One of my favorite programs is the Museum Passes. You touched on that. Over the years since we started that, we have saved people over $109,000, I think, right?
That's right, yeah.
And last year, how much did they save just last year alone?
Yeah, so I think over 600 people checked out our museum passes and they saved over $10,000. So that's a great value and, again, available, to anyone without spending a dime. You just come in here, use your library card, and you have access to all of these great services.
And one of the great services that we offer is free tech help. Adam, maybe you can speak to that. You offer tech help twice monthly to patrons that sign up for, some time to spend with you asking about their questions with their devices and computers and so many other things. You've heard it all. Tell us about how you see your service impacting patrons here.
So as you said, we do every other week, we do a tech help session and people can sign up, they can come in, and it's really been an amazing time for me to meet people in the community and see a lot of the issues that we all deal with. Everyone has a limit of where tech, you hit that wall and you don't know what to do next. And myself included, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I know where to look. So I hope that what I can do is at least provide people some sanity and some confirmation. We have a lot of catharsis going on. We're sharing the frustrations of living in this tech-fueled world. And one of the things that I do a lot of is save a lot of stress. I think that's a huge thing. I think just the anxiety around technology of needing to do something for your taxes, your healthcare, or maybe you started a small business and you need to learn how to use Excel. I've helped a lot of people with all those issues there. And I've also found that I've been helping people reduce their costs, whether that's the time they spend trying to solve a problem, or very often they have programs or software installed that's costing them a monthly fee. Notably, it's a funny thing. We've all kind of been scared about viruses and internet security, which is something really important to stay up on. But unfortunately, some of the programs from the past in software, in which I'm not going to name the brand specifically here, but we all know what they are. They end up installed on our computers. You didn't ask for them. They're there, and then suddenly they're free for a little bit, and then they start charging you. And this could be upwards to, from $7 to $12 a month. And yearly, it could be, $50 to $100 or more for something that essentially is free. So a lot of the folks that come in will bring their computers and they've been slowed down. And one of the biggest issues is this extra virus protection, which they don't need. I've literally gone on the phone with these companies' support staff and unsubscribed people from something that they maybe didn't know they're getting into. I remember one client who came in, not to name names, we all know her, we all love her. She had not only some virus protection stuff come up that she didn't need and was tricked into kind of spending money on, but she was paying for AOL Mail or an AOL program that was free. Within 2 sessions, we managed to save her a good amount of chunk of money that she didn't know that she didn't need to spend. So I think it's something compared to even other tech help out there that you can get, whether it's from the Apple Store or I guess the Best Buy, Geek Squad comes to mind. But even third-party tech help online, usually those rates, if you look into it, are upwards to $95 an hour or plus, depending what the complexity is. And we offer that here as a free program. And it doesn't stop there. If you need to learn how to use your phone, if you're trying to back up your phone and free up space, I do a lot of that. And dealing with the cloud and sharing photos so you can get things on there. To sum it up, I think I mostly help people save time and money and sanity.
I agree. We have had so many people come back and say, Adam's amazing. He's wonderful. I can't believe I was paying for that. And as you said, and a lot of our clients are, they don't know what to do. They don't even know where to begin. And it isn't that easy to unsubscribe to some of this stuff. And so they do value the service very much. So like Adam's service, Stephanie mentioned, the notary services, and we offer free Wi-Fi. And in addition to that, and the programs that we offer, we are having Jonathan Kruk here in October. Jonathan sells out in Irvington and in Sleepy Hollow, and people pay for tickets, me included. And so we have things like that we offer people that really do save you money. I know we've saved so much money with our museum passes, me included. I went to the Intrepid with my family. We saved about $160 just on admission, and we walked right in because we got on to the VIP line. So it is really wonderful to be able to offer this to our patrons. It is money saved. You feel it in your pocket when you walk in and you're not asked to pay at that ticket window. So I wish everybody could take advantage of it. All they need is their Mid-Hudson Library card and just come on in. Again, we do offer our community so much, and one of the things that we do to offset some of the costs is apply for grants. We are fortunate to receive grant funding that helps defray some of the costs. In addition, we have a new friends group that is doing some fundraising for us. Stephanie, can you talk about them and a little bit about what they do?
Sure. I'll talk about the friends group, but I just want to back up and just piggyback off what we were talking about with Adam. And we're so grateful to have Adam providing the tech help services as you both mentioned, our patrons, find them invaluable. But what I think is amazing about, not to, talk about our staff again, but what other place in our community can you walk into, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night and ask any sort of question and someone will try to answer it for you. I always tell my staff, I don't want them to say like, no, they can't, don't give no as an answer. Maybe you don't know, but say no, but I'll find out for you. So we're here to help people. We don't want people to feel alone. I think it's really important that, the Patterson community knows that the library's here to help them, in addition to saving money. But, we're community members too, and we want to see everyone succeed and get the help and services that they need. So I'm really proud of that. And again, thanks to Adam for being one of those people that help provide the services to our patrons. But to get back to the Friends, yes, we're really happy to have a Friends group, and they work to raise a little bit of money for the library so we can do some extra programming. And they also raise awareness. They help, let people know, what great things that we're doing. And so the things that they've been working on in the past year or so, they did a paint night. They did an evening with Maura last fall. They did a holiday ornament tag sale, holiday decoration tag sale, I should say. They sponsored a storytelling event in the spring, and we did a puzzle swap with them in the summer. They do monthly raffle baskets, which are fun, different themes every month. And then, as Lillie mentioned earlier, they're doing a great fundraiser with Ellen Foley on November 1st. So, we're really grateful to have our friends, and they're really important to the library. And we're always looking for more friends. So if you're interested in joining, you can contact me or Lillie, and we can tell you, when the next meeting is, and we'd love to have you. But in addition to our friends, we do partner with other community groups. We try to work with Putnam Cap. We have a great give back event coming up in October. We're partnering with Healthy Families of Putnam County. We're asking patrons to bring in diapers and wipes and baby clothes, and they can donate to that organization and also enjoy glow-in-the-dark bubbles, compliments of the Bubble Bus. So that's a fun event for families, and we're asking the families to give back to that organization. So we try to partner with local veterans groups, local animal shelters. We partner with the Patterson Food Pantry. We're a collection site for them. So we try to work with all of our community partners to just, again, benefit everyone in the Patterson community.
Yeah, that is such an important role we all take very seriously here, is really trying to enrich people's lives, whether through art and music and programming, resources. We really do our best to fill some voids that we feel exist. And one of the things I know we do is work with local artists, and we have their work on display. That really is something nice for both the artists and for the community, because you can walk in here at any time and take a walk down our hallway and in our community room and see the fabulous work that these people do. So it is important to us to really bring a little bit of everything to our patrons and community. And we are lucky to be embraced by this community. We have a great relationship with many of the local organizations and other businesses. We work together on so many projects. So I feel really lucky to have had a great relationship with the people in this community that have come forward and have worked with us and helped us to do what we do best, and that is to serve others. So Don, any closing remarks from you?
Yeah, as a longtime Patterson resident, I am so proud of this library and the staff. They have nothing but the best interests of the public in mind, and they truly do go out of their way at times to try and help people. So if you haven't really utilized our library, I think you really should take the time to come in and just look around and see what we have to offer. It's an amazing array of different services and just a great place to be. And we're also always looking for trustees. And if you're a resident of Patterson, we would welcome you to fill out an application, which you can download online on our website, and come and join the fun. So please come and check us out.
Thank you both for being here today. And I'm glad we got a chance to explain some of the things about funding and hopefully answered some of the questions that people have had about our 414 budget propositions and where the money gets spent, how it gets spent, and just what we offer for this community. And for those people that don't know, hopefully they'll come in and check out some of those things we talked about, because we really are a great community resource. And we're glad to have you both here to help explain that to everybody. Everybody knows they can always contact Stephanie if they have any questions about anything, or come in and talk to any one of us. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lillie.
Thank you for tuning in to the Patterson Library Connection. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us grow, please share it with a friend. You can follow and subscribe to our podcast on our website at pattersonlibrary.org, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. This podcast was recorded at the Patterson Library in Patterson, New York. Special thanks to our sound engineer, producer, and composer, Adam Bernier, our library director, Stephanie Harrison, our board of trustees, and to you, our listeners. I'm your host, Lillie Misenti. We'll see you next time on the Patterson Library Connection. Patterson Library trustees and staff do not promote nor endorse the opinions of our guests.